Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here. Time for another Patreon-sponsored blind reaction. And this one comes to you courtesy of Mario Fanboy 15, who has requested that I react to another one-hit Wonderland video from Todd in the Shadows. This time it's Fire by the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. And apparently this is a Halloween episode from Todd, I noticed. So that's why I kind of saved it for just before Halloween. So it's timely. And I do know the song, Fire. I've definitely heard that before. I'm pretty sure it's the song I'm thinking about. I didn't know who it was by. It's one of those one-hit wonders where you don't really think about who the actual artist is. At least for me, I never really looked into it. Because honestly, I'm not really even sure where I heard the song. I mean, I guess it's just one of those things that sort of appears with some regularity, just in stuff randomly, or maybe I heard it on the radio, or I don't even know. But it's definitely a song, if it is the one I'm thinking about, which I'm pretty sure it is. Definitely a song I'm familiar with. As for the Halloween theme, I guess, I mean, there is kind of a sinister sound there, and it is about fire, which definitely can be scary. So, yeah. But, I don't know. I'm very interested. I mean, the Crazy World of Arthur Brown is that's definitely a intriguing name for an artist. And has me pretty eager to learn more about them. Because I know nothing here, and yeah, I guess Todd's gonna change that, so cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Here we go. Yeah, definitely the song I'm thinking about. Really cool melody.
Welcome back, boils and cools. It's Halloween! That means it's time for another one-hit Wonderland Spectacular Edition! Look, this is gonna be it. I've only done 4 previous episodes, and for 2 of them I was always
I've seen the other
barrel trying to find something that
the other 4.
This is it. We're done.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But I got one left in me, and it's a major one. This song is basically the progenitor of horror shock rock. From before Rob Zombie, before Ozzy Osbourne, before Alice Cooper, before any of them. In fact, I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. So, here we go, everyone. And if you know this cheery tune, feel free to sing along. A 1, a 2.
I am the god of hellfire! And I bring you fire!
Yeah, I can see why this is good for Halloween.
What the fuck? What even the fuck?
Yeah.
What are we even looking at yet?
I don't know.
Well, welcome everyone to the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Yes, that's the full name of the band, which really it had to be. Just the name Arthur Brown alone, it wouldn't nearly convey the weirdness of this weird thing we're looking at.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Wait, are you serious? This was a hit? Yeah, this was a hit. A number 2 hit in the fall of 1968.
Well, it's a good song.
Just barely kept off the top spot by a little song called Hey Jude.
Oh.
Right,
wow.
It was almost as big as Hey Jude.
Wow! Okay, it's not that good.
I would have ever heard of it were I not such an obsessive music geek, because they sure never played it on the oldie stations. I didn't see it in any of my dad's old cassettes.
Well,
nope.
Somehow I heard it.
Yeah. Arthur Brown and his Crazy World were not only successful for one song,
I'm
they
pretty
may
familiar
be one
with
of the
it.
most influential one-hit wonders of all time.
Despite
Everyone
never really
from
seeking
Kiss
it out.
to Marilyn Manson to even Peter Gabriel and George Clinton have said that they were inspired by this raving weirdo with the face paint. And
I could kind of see that from
but as
most of
fires
those.
go, Arthur Brown's music career was less Raging Inferno and more Candle in the Wind. But for one brief moment, he was a god of hellfire! And we're gonna figure out why he burnt out so quickly. Yeah, you wanted a Halloween episode? Here's your goddamn Halloween episode. Burn, baby, burn! The Crazy World of Arthur Brown was originally known as just Arthur Brown, born in 1942 in North Yorkshire, England.
Not gonna cut it.
But apparently he was into all sorts of shit as a kid, and his stage act was inspired by all sorts of everything he'd seen everywhere, including Viking rituals, kabuki theater, African tribal dances, just basically everything mixed into a stew. He does not say that his influences also included heavy illegal drug use. But really, does he need to?
Probably not. Oh. Well, that's different. Not so much Hellfire here.
As you can see, he was still a bit of a ways off from the devil music at that point. It's a song about how
Still got the
when
look
people
down, though.
do bad things to you, don't give them a punch, give them a flower.
Give him a flower.
Yeah.
Give him a flower.
In case you can't tell, this is sarcastic. Goddamn hippies.
Okay, I can
Get
see
the
that.
joke, it's pretty funny, but I
Yeah.
decided that's not the direction.
So, didn't like the
They
hippies.
didn't want to be a joke band. They wanted people to take them seriously.
I mean, could have gone the Zappa route from there, but instead we did
for a
this.
certain definition of serious.
Explosions in my brain. Shatter me to drops of rain.
So instead, their music got a little wilder and their costumes got more theatrical. But listen to this. No one's going to play this on the radio, obviously, until this man stepped in.
Huh?
Yeah, Jimi
Jimmy?
Hendrix, a.k.a. the guy who released a song in the 60s called Fire that people actually remember.
Let me stand next
Wow.
to your fire.
Another good one?
And Arthur Brown went on tour with him once, and Hendrix liked him so much that he would go into the radio stations and tell them to start playing the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. And when Jimi Hendrix tells you to do something, you do it. Hey, jump out of this plane. Yes, sir, Mr. Hendrix. So, even though the first single didn't take off, Arthur Brown had a sure firecracker with his second single, which he described as, quote, the worst song on the album.
Yeah, funny how that works.
And I bring you fire. I take you to burn.
Just has a cool sound to it.
Fire. I'll take you to learn.
I don't even really know what to say here. I mean, if you don't like it in the first 5 seconds, you're not gonna like it, period. I remember just being blown away because the song doesn't ease you into it or anything. It's just immediately punches you in the face. It's just nothing, and then suddenly screaming, and then fire! Or more accurately, fire! Arthur Brown is not the first person to write a song about fire, obviously.
Yeah.
But
and
he was the
not
first to
last.
discover that you don't actually need much else. Just say, fire! Loud enough, and you have a
It
full
does
song.
seem a little repetitive.
A discovery that's lasted to this day.
I'm not sure I've ever heard the entire song, honestly.
Even so, I cannot believe this got big. This is the kind of gonzo rock that could only have been a hit during the late 60s when everything was falling to shit, right? And yeah, it was, but the 60s weren't all riots and LSD. And if you look at the songs that were charting at the exact same time, it's not exactly Woodstock.
I'm a girl watcher. I'm a girl watcher.
Those were the days, my friend.
This is probably why we needed fire.
Didn't make little green apples fit on
Yeah, we're-
snow in Minneapolis.
So having
Really
this
making the
play
case for
parade
fire.
next to My Special Angel by the Vogues, that must have felt like a full-on shotgun blast of bad acid. Now, what's it about? Well, on the surface at least, Fire is not a very complicated or subtle song. It's about complete and total destruction of everything you value and love. Which is funny, because the actual idea of the song is apparently the exact opposite. Arthur Brown was super into meditation, and the idea is that fire is not the torments of hell, but the way to inner peace. The god of hellfire is here to burn away all the things that are holding you back. It's a very Zen, Buddhist, Fight Club-ish idea.
Yeah?
The things
pretty
you
cool.
own end up owning you. And the only way to set yourself free is to let it all burn so that you can find your true self. Suffice to say, that's not what I ever took from it. What I got from it is fire!
Yeah, I could see that.
And additionally, in the album, the god of hellfire has an opposite twin brother, the god of pure fire, who brings you into enlightenment after the god of hellfire has burned everything. This all does sound a bit familiar to me.
Dayman. Oh, of the night man. Oh, champion of the sun.
And despite the huge influence this band has had on music, Fire doesn't seem to be like a commonly known song. It's in that dead zone where it's too old and not metal enough to be played on hard rock stations, and it's too weird and unpleasant to be played on oldie stations. And if I'm honest, I wouldn't.
Now I'm just
quite
kind of
call
curious
it a
where I've heard
favorite
this
song of
before.
mine
Like,
either. I mean, I do like it a lot.
must have been used in something.
Once you got the first
I like.
10 seconds of it, you basically got the entire thing. I mean, it does get louder from there, but that's about it. It's really not much of a song, I guess. But it's one of those things that is just so bizarre and wonderful that you can't help but appreciate it. But boy, if you thought this was crazy, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm sure.
I'm not sure the follow-up single is even a fair way to assess Arthur Brown. He seems to have been more of an album artist. I mean, can you properly understand
sense.
Fire if you don't hear the full Fire poem that
Oh.
precedes it? It just adds so much more. But he did release a second single. It's a cover of Screamin' Jay Hawkins'
Oh.
I Put a Spell on You.
Interesting. Well, good song, but don't know if you want to cover as your second song.
I don't know. I mean, I know I called Arthur Brown the original shock rocker, but Screamin' Jay Hawkins was probably like the original.
Yeah.
So if you know, like, the first song, I just don't feel like there's a whole lot Arthur Brown's gonna add with his version. Kind of reminds me of, like, Tim Burton saying, "Why don't I do a remake of Willy Wonka?" Or
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, or I don't know, The Munsters. I'm sure he's working on that next. Won't that be clever?
Wouldn't
and new
surprise
if I
me.
can update it with, make it all creepy. It's like, no, it's too obvious. It's not really an update. We already knew what's creepy. There is a better cover on that album, for the record, of James Brown's "I've Got Money."
Oh. Okay. That sounds pretty good.
See, now that's the kind of song that would appreciate an acid rock remake. But if you want to follow up that really failed, you have to check out the Crazy World's second album, Strange Land. I dare say that you would be hard-pressed to find any album that ever failed harder. Why? Because the record company didn't even release it.
Okay.
It did not surface
Wonderful.
publicly until the late 80s. And if you listen to it, you can see why. Like, Arthur Brown's Crazy World wasn't fun weird anymore. It was just weird. I don't know. It's just a lot of noise to me. If you really like Frank Zappa or Captain Beefheart, you
I
might
do.
be into it, but it was just too odd for the label.
I like both of those,
So
so
the band was finding it hard to tour because
maybe I should check it
with all
out.
the pyrotechnics and everything, most venues were worried that they were going to accidentally burn the whole place down. So they had no record, they couldn't tour, they broke up. Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arthur Brown started a new band, Kingdom Come.
Nobody's here to help you now.
They were a psychedelic progressive rock band. They released 3 albums in the early 70s. I'm not much of a prog rock guy, but if you like King Crimson, you might enjoy this.
I like that
Their
too,
first
so
album is called Galactic Zoo Dossier.
of course.
Because all the songs are about alien zoo animals. Yeah, it's an intense record, but it's all a little short of hooks. And after that ended, Arthur Brown just did a whole mess of weird things. He was in the movie Tommy, based on the Who album.
Oh!
He moved to
Oh,
Burundi
that's him?
and started a 9-piece rock band called the
That's
Burundi
cool.
National Orchestra. He released new music off and on over the course of 4 decades. He moved to Austin, Texas, where he started a carpentry business with one of Frank Zappa's mothers of invention. And he still pops up every now and then in random places.
Darkness. Okay.
And get this,
That's
he's
cool.
still touring. At age 75 in 2017, he is still touring. And I tell you, I can only hope that this is the man.
Probably a pretty
I
good
am
show.
At that age. Hell, this is the man I wish I was at my current age. Fuck yeah, we should all age so well. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Unsure he would say that. It doesn't really seem like his thing all that much.
This man is so goddamn influential and inspiration to so many weirdos. So many much more famous and successful rock stars owe so much to him that I'm pretty sure they all try to buy him lunch every day. He's just that impressive. And yeah, okay, maybe he was too weird to gain any traction. I can't really imagine a world where Kingdom Come or Strange Lands go platinum or anything. But still, this man was an absolute original. He shaped rock and roll. A genuine oddball imitated for decades since. I mean, he set his head aflame and shouted, "Fire!" Mm-hmm. What more could
We
you
all gotta
possibly
respect
ask
that.
for?
We all gotta respect that.
Fire, I bid you to burn.
Okay. Interesting sounding cover here.
Fire, I bid you to love.
So there we go. That was that was cool. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Learned a lot about Arthur Brown here. He's seems like a very interesting guy, very influential guy, and that's yeah, kind of neat. I mean, it actually makes me curious to check out his stuff. It sounds like maybe I'd get a kick out of it. But yeah, there we go. That was interesting. Interesting video for sure. It is kind of surprising that something like that would ever ever get big, get to number 2, right under the Beatles. Yeah, that's impressive. Good for you, Arthur Brown. You and yeah, I can definitely see how he influenced all the people that we said were influenced by him. Yeah. So didn't have another hit, but he did have a lot of influence on music, and that's still definitely a cool thing. So yeah, and well, I don't think I have really too much else to say, but just a very interesting video. Liked learning more about, or anything about this guy, because as said, I'd heard this song before, which I still don't know where. Which I'm trying to kind of figure out, but I don't know. A bit distracted. But yeah, it was definitely a cool video, and I definitely enjoyed it. But hope you liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.